What is up, guys? Welcome back. Season 2 of Shady Network Fantasy Reports, Fantasy Football with Seany and Cedric. How's it going, guys? You know, my co-host from last season, Seany, the main man doing it all. I'll go ahead and let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's cracking, everybody? Shady Sports Network, Sean and Cedric coming back at you with the fantasy football report. We got
Yes.
everything, man. We're trying to get back at it with you guys. This is our first show back, something we've been looking forward to doing. We just want to get right into it with you guys and have a little rookie conversation, share a little injury information, just go through the first couple rounds, ADP, so you guys can get the best bang for your buck in your drafts. We just had this discussion. A lot of people have drafted already, but a lot of people do hold off until the end of preseason to wait to see where everything shakes out. So if you got a draft coming up in the next couple weeks, we're here to help you, guide you along, and keep you as informed as possible, just to get you that best roster that you can to get you your championship this season.
Yeah. We got our drafts coming up. Shoot. Next weekend.
Yeah, buddy. Yep.
Next Sunday.
Oh my
Number
God.
1.
I've been waiting for that one. I've been waiting for that one because, I dig Sleeper. I really do. I dig Sleeper a lot. But I started my fantasy football on ESPN. And, it's just their team over there, what they do to get you information and their podcast and, just how they get into it. Um, you know, Sleeper, they give you a couple podcasts and they're like advice column and
Oh, they have a
whatnot.
lot of stuff on Sleeper, man. There is so much more stuff. They do like draft analysis. They have like separate apps that you can like attach onto it.
And they now that they updated the app, you can
Yeah.
go into they have a fantasy football advice column, they have a fantasy
Yeah.
football news column, they have
Well, they're
they of
not paying.
course.
Hold on, they're not paying us yet, so we'll
Yeah,
let
true
them be.
that.
Check it out.
True that. But I'm just saying, I don't know why. I like ESPN the most out of all formats, and that's
It's
what
the
this draft
OG.
we have coming up on. And I don't know, just for some reason, I've been in this league the second longest out of all my other two, and just everybody in that league has so much fun talking trash and week to week, and we have a chat that we do like throughout the
Mhm.
week, and it is by far just the funnest league. And yeah, I can't wait to draft this one, and it's a little smaller too, so the teams are like heavier stacked, and we keep up in the ante on the buy-in, so that that championship's looking better and better every year.
Yeah, man, and that's the cool thing too. Like, I raised it up a little bit just to have that little extra. Like, took away third place because now you can be first place and get the most points and get that little extra pot, or you can not even make it to the playoffs and get the most points somehow.
Right.
And still get something extra. So I thought that was pretty cool to add competition too. And yeah, man, like it's exciting to see like you were saying, you jumped in another league with Mike and stuff, like to see the branch offs too. So that's why I think I like fantasy football is there's so many different avenues you can go about it and so many different groups that do it. Like in the sleeper league, most of the people, I guess half of them are in our league, but most of them I don't even know.
Yeah, well,
So
this has been a new experience for me as well, because this has been my first season where I've done keepers and dynasty. So
mm,
when you do a keeper league, you get to pick four people, but you also lose that draft spot of where you picked them up the year before.
yep,
So when you go through and you look, you think like, oh, I'll keep my first couple round draft picks, but then when you
could
go into
be
that draft room and you see that everybody already has the first two rounds of starters in there, and there's nobody to draft in the first two rounds, you really got to be strategic in where you are and where you're at. And also for this other for keepers and for dynasty, you really longevity is the name of the game in fantasy football. You want to be able to keep the guys who are going to be around and are young in their career and have great floors and also amazing ceilings. So that's why it's good to get the rookie aspect in, and that's what we're going to go over for you guys starting now.
yep.
We are going to go over who got drafted this season, who's looking good in what position, who's already got the starting spot, who's starting out, and who might help you, who might be a sleeper. and who you might just want to keep on your bench because they have that, second half of the season breakout like a Christian Watson. So we'll go through and we'll get some of that going now. First of all, you want to start out with the man who already sits inside the top 10 of ADP for Atlanta is Mr. Bijan Robinson. He is, oh my God, he's so big bodied. He's all over the field. He's going to be your dual threat back, and he's a guaranteed starter, guaranteed three down guy. There, you have no problem drafting him late first round, early second round. And yeah, if you're one of those guys who got, seventh pick, or you're sitting there in the back of the drafts and you're looking at that running back room, Eckler and McCaffrey are already off the board, and you're starting to look down. Henry goes, and then don't be ashamed to take Bijan Robinson over guys like, I hate to say it, over guys like Najee, over guys like you're gonna get him before a couple of those other guys. It's just because he's a guy that you're going to want to keep in keeper leagues. He's a guy that you're going to want to have in your starting lineup, and that's just how it is, man. And he's going to bring new life to Atlanta as well, which will be nice to see.
Yeah,
And then,
man.
yeah, have you seen your boy at all? You haven't been watching. He hasn't played much, but dude, I cannot wait to see him actual real
B-
games on the field get started, man.
Bijan.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean it's going to be interesting too. I mean, especially with Atlanta's offense, I feel like they're going like kind of run heavy. So I feel like he's definitely going to get his touches. He's going to get in there early. And oh man, I'm
he's what they've
interested
been
to
wanting.
see. Yeah, exactly. And like I've been trying to see where I can like pick him up at because I definitely want to stack up on my running backs and wide receivers this year.
Definitely, man. And and that's another thing too, is that this is the first time in fantasy in years and years where you're looking at the guys that are being drafted first, even top three, are wide receivers. And for me, that is just crazy because normally the first 10 guys to go, with maybe one or two running backs in between, or wide receivers in between, are all running backs. It's always been like that since I've been. You stack your running backs, and
They've
that's
been
just,
letting us down, bro. The Christian McCaffreys, the Jonathan Taylors, bro. The Cook, all of them, man, all of them. Even Derrick Henry. I'll pick Derrick Henry every freaking year, man. But
yeah,
it's like I mean, I know it's been a thing with the running backs this off season with their contracts,
it
and their
really has.
value and their worth. But it's like I don't know, man. Like it's hard to go with a running back in the first couple picks.
It really is, man. And you know that there's only a couple, and that's why I threw Bijan into the mix right off the bat, because he's one of those running backs that you can depend on to be an RB1 week to week. And also another one that I'm going to throw into the mix that I think will be an RB1 week to week as a rookie. I'm still waiting to see. He's not as big as a guy as Bijan, and I know that his line, they're improving, but is not the best. Is Jameer Gibbs of the Detroit Lions? I think that he is, at his ADP, a good draft. He's definitely a second round running back. And after you watch all those awesome wide receivers go, and after you watch those, top 5 to 8 guys in the running back room that you want go. I mean, if Jameer Gibbs is still there, you got to pick him up. I think that he is going to. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, and I think he's going to be week to week a guy with a floor of at least 12. I'm going to say, and anybody with the floor of 12 is fringing on that RB1 territory. And if you're there, man, I mean, that's a guaranteed flex and almost a guaranteed start at the running back one position every week. And I've taken him in a couple leagues now. I believe in him, and I think that Detroit is gonna, with him in the backfield, rely on the run game a little bit more, because it's just been, the line breaks down, they crash through, he hucks one up, Amon Ra comes down with it because he's a baller, and that's how it is. But now he can give them a little bit more versatility out of the backfield with a man with some more skills. Fresh set of legs, young guy, quicker than hell. And I think he's going to do a lot to diversify the Detroit Lions offense. And I think he's the guy worth his ADP at the drafting spot.
Okay.
For sure, for sure. Um, and then I know we're getting into that wide receiver conversation, and so Seattle's got my favorite rookie at the wide receiver position. I like Jordan Addison. Don't get me wrong. I like Mims, and I like what's that? I like Quentin Robbins or Quentin Johnston in on the Chargers, but Jackson Smith and Nigba. Dude, I think that for Seattle, he's going to go over there and he's going to make some noise, man. He's such a big body guy, and DK and um, Tyler, they're amazing athletes, but they are, they're veterans at this point. They know the game, they know where to be, and Geno Smith is an amazing quarterback. But I think his route running ability is going to set him apart. His speed and his route running ability is going to set him apart this season. And where he lines up puts him in a good position as well. I think that he is going to be a good pickup as a rookie. And starting out, I can't call it. I can't tell if he's going to be a breakout, but he's definitely a guy worth picking up that you can put in the flex spot. And and we'll see how it goes. And he might end up in one of your running back spots, or one of your wide receiver spots. You never know. But I have amazing faith in this man, and I think that he's going to do really well in this offense.
Okay. Okay.
And then, of course, a little bit of injury worry, but he's got a quarterback with not too much experience out of Jordan Love, but we got Jordan Addison. Oh, he's Minnesota. Never mind. Never mind. Jordan Addison is Minnesota. So they're talking that he's another one of these top three guys coming out of the rookie draft that you're going to definitely want to watch. I know we had some injury issues. He wasn't carted off the field, but they caught him limping off the field. But they don't think it's going to be an injury that's going to hold him back or keep him sidelined. He should be ready to go week one. And I'm not sure what his down work is going to look like, but he's going to be out there, and he is definitely another guy that you are going to want to stash. Jordan
Yeah, and
Addison
I
is
mean,
another.
him. Those are going to be guys that are going to be doing like kick return as well too. You know what I mean? And they're going to have trick plays where they're coming out of the backfield, so they're going to be picking up yards. They're going to be snatching up points. You know what I mean? Here and there.
100%. Definitely. Yeah. No, he is. He's definitely that gadget guy that they can use now. Like I said, fresh set of legs, rookie guy, nice. These young guys coming out are such a nice, fresh breath of air for these
Mm-hmm.
offenses who have these guys that are just, they're getting up there in miles, man, and it shows, and you can tell. And it also gives the quarterback a new sense of relief to know that he's going to have a guy that can cut these routes exactly where he needs to be when he needs him there. And Jordan Addison's definitely going to be another one of those guys. And
Definitely.
also, I think that Mims is going to be one of those guys uh, for our boy over in Denver, Colorado. I can't, dude.
He definitely has to now.
I know. Well, yeah, with all the
With
injuries, with Hamler out, with Patrick out, you know, um, I know Sutton still in the mix. Judy was looking real good in preseason. He had one drop that you were like, oh man, this is typical Judy stuff. And then
mm-hmm.
boom, next play, beautiful slant route. He got himself wide open right off the cut. And then boom, it was a 22-yard, beautiful touchdown pass. Exactly what you want to see. Um,
And then I mean, there's what's his name, Terry McLaughlin or Jerry McLaughlin. He's a
oh,
running back, bro. They've been talking about him too. He had like I think he had like a 90-yard punt return or kickoff return.
oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep.
So they
Yeah,
have
no,
some rookies, man. I
they
don't want to
need,
get all Homer and shit.
but it's so necessary for them, man, because now under a new coaching staff, after the season that they had last season, everybody thought last season about the Denver Broncos. I think you might be a little more comfortable feeling that way this season. You got somebody on the sidelines who can manage a clock. somebody who can call the right plays in the red zone. Um, and, we want to be able to 100% depend on our quarterback. And I don't, he still showed some shakiness in preseason, but that's what preseason is for. Like even when it did look shaky, when it came down to it, it was 4th and 5. He threw a 22-yard banger to Jerry Judy for the touchdown. And now
Yep.
he's got guys like Mims, McLaughlin. You got a healthy Javante back, and you got P. Ryan, who has been an excellent backup for Joe Mixon for the
Oh
last several
man,
seasons. I mean,
he's gonna come in
even
beasting.
fantasy relevant he's been,
Mhm.
as a backup. And so I think that the Broncos, they got a lot this year as long as they coach it right, get their chemistry proper, and I think Mims can be an integral part of that offense as well. And he's going to
Yeah,
have to be. He's going to have to be, like you said, with the way that injuries at the wide receiver position have held them back. It'll be good to see. It'll be good to see.
yeah. Speaking of quarterbacks, though, I mean, I know there's a few rookie quarterbacks, especially one coming from the UF. You know what I mean? Anthony Richardson coming out
Oh my
there,
God, man.
AR-15, about to show him, but you know, he already got the nod for the start. I think Bryce Young got the nod for the start.
Yep. Yeah.
Are there
Yes.
any other rookie quarterbacks out there that you expect to see?
CJ Stroud, for Houston.
Oh
He
yeah,
he looks like he's going to be the man over there, and Houston's they've got some offensive weapons, and they've been trying to improve on defense. I think that he might be the breath of fresh air they need down there to get things going.
yep.
I think he's a resilient guy. I haven't seen too much tape, and I don't know enough to say that he's a surefire starter, or fantasy relevant in any way, shape, or form. But
Mhm.
I know out of all the rookie QBs that have been mentioned and that are nodded to start, Anthony Richardson, I think, for the Colts, is going to be one that you need to keep on your fantasy radar. He is one that I have drafted in late rounds if he's still there, and
Yep.
he is my go-to backup quarterback this season. I'm talking over your Staffords, over your Kirk Cousins, over your, once that, you know, once those first two tiers of quarterbacks are gone, your elites, and then, the guys who you're going to get your 15 to 18 points out of. I think that Richardson is going to fall into that category, but they're not quite putting him there yet. But like I said, man, I have drafted him in every league that I can that he is still available. And if for the right round, I mean, why not, man?
Oh, exactly. Especially in the later rounds when you're picking up players, you know what I mean? Like he's gonna get points, man. He's gonna be especially in a two quarterback league, and you're gonna have those bye weeks. You're gonna just need to get, you know what I mean, 17, 18 points just to just hang on. He's gonna
Right.
get those points for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
And,
barring an injury, you know what I mean. He's gonna make some plays. He's gonna make some plays with his legs. Same thing with
that's,
Bryce Young too. You know, like
yep.
that's where they're putting these guys out there. You know, like they're not gonna be they're not going to be Patrick Mahomes numbers or Joe Burrows, who, by the way, I mean, Joe Burrows is just his third year in the league. You know what I mean? Like Lamar
Yeah,
Jackson, this is
these are
what,
the
fourth
guys that
year?
you're going to want to compare to Jalen Hurts, because these are the guys that are going to get it done with their legs, and when they can't, they're still capable of doing it everywhere else. Jalen Hurts is still my number one fantasy quarterback. Always has been, always will be. I love Patrick Mahomes. If he's there, I always take him. But dude, Hurts is the number one fantasy quarterback every season, and it's consistent because of what he does with his legs, man. He scores touchdowns when he's within the five, and he just doesn't stop running. He doesn't stop running. He's that guy you can get the points all over the field with. And I mean, with the weapons he has, obviously at wide receiver and running back now, I mean, it's going to be even better. But yeah, Richardson is that guy. Stroud, I mean, I haven't seen his tape, like I said, but I'm sure he can move. All these
Isn't he
rookie
from
guys.
Alabama?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
And
I
then
mean, I don't know. We'll
that's
see.
he's get yeah, he's gonna ball. He's gonna ball. But the only thing is, I just hope he gets the protection. these teams that, these guys are drafting, they're building these teams around. They don't have the best offensive lines. I've been looking into some schedules. Some of these guys got a tough schedule, but Richardson, I think, yeah, man, he's definitely one you're going to want on your roster. We got
Yeah.
a
So
question
we got a
here from Sam.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of that, so it says, who are your top 5 can't miss players to draft in the first round?
Who are yours, said?
My top 5 can't miss players to draft in the first round. I mean, you're gonna have to say Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, uh, shoot, Christian McCaffrey. I I mean, it's hard, man. If he's
It's
there,
no,
I'm
you. I
probably
mean,
gonna.
dude, you got to be there. You got to
You
be that.
gotta be there, yeah. And he came into San Francisco and just kept running. So, I mean,
He's
barring
finally got that
injury,
protection. Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, what did I say? Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey. Oh man, I'm gonna have to put up. Ooh, oh, that's hard, man. I don't know because I feel like I'm stuck looking at the past seasons, and it's gonna be a whole different story this year, man. Like I know those guys are gonna be a lock for sure, but
I know that Austin Eckler has to be in the mix. He
Austin
has.
Eckler's right there. If he's
He
available,
has
I'm
to be.
snatching him for sure.
He has
Yeah,
to be in the mix.
I'd say he's the number 1 running back off the board.
Yeah, he is. He is, and he is for a reason, man. He has been that dual threat for, you know, for the Chargers that has
Yeah,
been the
but C-Mac
dependable
throwing
guy.
it, bro. C-Mac out
He's
there
got the
throwing
most
it too, though.
touchdowns out of any running back in the league. And,
Truth.
he's just their go to guy. I know he's a little contract frustrated, but Austin Eckler is, in my opinion, the number 1 running back off the draft board.
So who's your
Um,
top 5?
well, J. Jeff, Jamar Chase, Austin Eckler, um, Garrett Wilson, and Derrick Henry.
See, man, I feel like, and this, I feel like Pickens is about to go the fuck off
Oh
this
yeah, yeah,
season,
yeah. No,
bro.
he's no doubt stashed on so many of my rosters already in the drafts that I've had, dude. Oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
no doubt. The
You
way that
think?
they're oh my god, man, the way the Steelers are looking this preseason, I hate that curse that comes with it. But dude, they put up against the first string Bills as if it was just any other game, and they were up 21-0, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and Pickens involved, like it's just, oh my god, and
Yeah.
Kenny
They're
Pickett is looking fresh, and look at me. I'm like, I start talking Steelers and I stand up.
No, but I'm saying though, like that's what I'm saying though, like top 5. I mean, I know like a top 3 can't miss, but I mean, honestly, like there's about to be some people that they're about to eat this season, man. They're trying to get a contract, they're trying to get a ring, bro. Like it's I mean, it's gonna be a good season. I feel like, honestly, like there's so many teams with bragging rights, like so many teams that have been talking trash, like crazy trades. All these running backs moved around, bro. Is Elliott on a team? I don't even know if anybody picked up
he's a
Zeke.
Patriot.
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
Pat.
so is that all the running backs that were on the market for the
No,
most part?
Leonard Fournette, Kareem Hunt, and Jonathan Taylor is still looking for a spot, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fournette left Tampa Bay. He didn't. I don't think that he even visited anybody, so I don't think he's too worried about playing. Kareem Hunt made a couple visits, left with no contract, and now we know what the big news out of Indianapolis is that they've given Jonathan Taylor the nod to
Yeah.
go ahead and reach out, and they're telling us all the teams that have a hand in the basket, and I don't know, man.
So those players are those players that you do you snatch those players in the middle round, or do you just wait and if they're available in the later rounds? Like, are you trying to stash those players still? Because I mean, they're gonna get picked up for someone by
Oh yeah.
someone, and they're gonna get used. I mean, Fournette, if anything, he's gonna be back in Tampa.
Yeah, so he's not going to be back in Tampa. I
You don't
have
think so?
so the only people that I have taken that risk with in the later rounds that have still been available have been Dalvin Cook and Zeke.
And that paid off with Cook in my
I
last
have
draft.
now. I heard some rumors a week ago that Fournette was making a visit to Miami, but it ended up being false. And I picked him up for a second just with the thought, because if he's still out there, I still want him. But now that Cook has landed at the Jets, and now that Zeke has landed, I mean, late rounds still available right before you're about to kick your kicker if they're still there. Yeah, but I wouldn't be wasting anything earlier than rounds in the teens for those guys for sure. And
Yeah.
that's just how it goes.
Who
But
are some guys that were like top picks? I mean, besides like Jonathan Taylor, you know what I mean?
dude, I'm watching mock drafts now, and I'm watching other drafts where people, and dude, Jonathan Taylor, he will literally sit there through, 7 solid teams that any other day of the week would have picked him up first round. And here we are midway through second round, and he's still just sitting there, dude.
Dang.
And that is so crazy to think about, considering not last year, but the year before. We're talking about the number one fantasy running back in all of football. You know what I mean? Last season was a bit shaky, man. And now with all this stuff going on, it's like, people are like, all right, I'm not going to waste the first or second round pick on somebody who A, might not even play, B, be the same thing he was in Indianapolis last season, or, C, go somewhere where he's going to have to split down work and still might not even be anything better than a flex for me. And it's just crazy to see that, but that's where it's ended up, until this thing lands and dries out, and, it becomes a set in stone thing. It's crazy to watch.
It's
But
crazy he wants to leave.
I just wanted to finalize. So that top 5 question that we had, I just wanted to lay it out. So as far as ADP goes, and as far as what the top 5 guys going in almost every draft are, it is Justin Jefferson number 1, Jamar Chase number 2, Austin Eckler number 3, Christian McCaffrey number 4, and Travis Kelce is number 5. That is the average draft that you will see top 5 ADP. And yes, I said Travis Kelce. It's
Well,
just
yeah, you
because
think about it.
he's a guaranteed floor of
Mm-hmm.
18 or more. And when you know
Exactly.
that, I mean, your first round draft pick and whatever running back or wide receiver that you're going to go with, that's the kind of points they give you. So if he's going to consistently give you that week to week, then that's who
Run.
you draft, and he's
Yep.
there, so you do it. And that's why you watch Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen go almost at the end of the first round, beginning of the second round, because these guys just get so scared that there's not going to be any elite quarterbacks come the mid turnaround of the second, that they just jump immediately and they're going first or second round quarterback, which to me I think is crazy.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
which is
when they
why you
start
have that
jumping
second
on them, you
tier,
don't have a
though.
choice. You don't have a choice if people start jumping on them, because you don't want
Oh,
to
I
end up
know.
that guy who just missed, Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence at the turn of the third or fourth, and then now you're like, oh my God, now what do I do? Like
Sam Sam
my best.
drafted Sam drafted Pat Mahomes and Jalen Hurts back to back last season.
Oh
I'm pretty
my,
sure it was Pat Mahomes and Jalen Hurts.
that is wicked mean. Wow, that is just
Early, bro. I think it was the first round.
that's
I think it was the first.
dirty.
So I mean,
That's
yeah, it's
dirty.
crazy. I feel like
You
the
know them
first
Philadelphia Eagles. They're crazy fans, man.
crazy, bro. But I mean, that's how it is, though. The first few picks, I would hope, most people are going after wide receivers, a solid wide receiver, especially if you're in the first 1 and 2. If you're 1 and 2, and then after that, you can kind of go wide receiver, running back, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
and then tight end, even, maybe if Kelsey's still available, after that, it's
right.
a big drop off. I feel like,
It really is, man.
who's the
That
number
tight
two
end
tight end?
tier. Yeah, those tight end tiers are crazy again this season, man. It was rough last, and it's going to be rough again this season. So, gear up for playing week to week on tight ends and watching that waiver wire, because it's going to come down to guys like, here's 2 more rookies I can throw out right now that we can talk about. Dalton Kincaid for the Bills. He was big talk going in, and now I just watched him in the preseason game versus Steelers. That man does not fumble around with the football. He grabs that ball and he gets yards after catch. Dalton Kincaid is a guy that I can tell you right now that Josh Allen is going to have trust in. He's going to go to, and he is going to be fantasy relevant this season. He's
Heck
a
yeah.
rookie that you can definitely draft and at least put on your bench and watch because I know it ain't gonna be Dawson Knox. Dude, Kincaid just looked way too good. He looked so good in that preseason game, and it was so refreshing to watch because that's exactly what people said he was going to be, and that's exactly what he did. And then
Yeah.
also, you got Sam Laporta. He's going to be fantastic as well, man. Haven't seen any tape, haven't seen him in any games as of yet, but I think he's going to be another one of those guys that are going to come right in and make the immediate difference. Another guy that I would say is worth picking up, picking up at least as a bench spot behind, whoever you can get, because we talked about Kelsey. All right, we'll talk about Mark Andrews, who now Isaiah Likely is injured. I don't know if he's better yet or not, but that's a guaranteed, you know, guaranteed extra work and all the work for Andrews, who's a sure-handed, fantasy top 3 tight end every season. Then Darren Waller now in New York. I think he's going to do well. I think him and Danny Dimes are going to do well. I think he's still up there. But then dude, then you got guys like everybody. I love George Kittle and I love San Francisco, but
He's always hurt.
six weeks last season he was outside the top 20. 5 weeks out of last season, he was top 3. So he's one of those guys where you draft, and every week you're going to be thinking to yourself, all right, well, this is either going to be that week or it's going to be that week. And that's not fun to do
But
because,
you're always gonna put him in though.
yeah, and that's the thing is if you got him, you start him, and so, once you get outside of, all right, so here is where my tight end. So you go Kelsey, you go Andrews, you go Waller, you go Hawkinson, you go Dallas Goddard. Of course, you put Kittle in the mix, maybe before those two. But outside of that, you got Kincaid and Laporta at the rookie position who are waiting to see. And then outside of that, like, who do you go with? Okonkwo,
I was
Juwan
gonna say, what
Johnson.
about what's his name from the Browns? What's his name?
Oh,
Uh,
Njoku.
bro, he's about to
Yeah,
eat.
yeah. It's just, I don't know. With Deshaun Watson coming in, I hope Chubb keeps his work. And, you know, I mean, he's always a threat. He's a guaranteed threat when he's on the field. I just, as far as fantasy relevance goes, he's another
And
one of
he's
those guys where, he's been solid week to week, in certain weeks. But then again, he's also one of those guys where when he's outside the top 20, outside the top 25, you can't wonder why. He's just another one of those guys. But that's not too bad at the tight end position to have, 6, 7 guys where you can say, yeah, I draft them.
yeah.
Um, but it's not full confidence, but you're at least 75% confident, which is better than what I can say over the seasons past. But then, there's always those guys that come out of nowhere and surprise you. There's always those sleepers that you don't know about that are going to be sitting on waivers and everybody's going to be battling for come week 2.
Yep. That's where I
So
eat. That's why I eat the waiver wire, man. Just give them to me. You guys
yeah.
are way faster than me, but I still find some. I go snatch them all up.
Yeah, Luke Musgrave is another tight end candidate at the rookie position to look out for out of Green Bay. There's been some good talk about him. Also, with that rookie QB, we don't know what's going to happen in Green Bay. We still know that,
He's not a
you know,
rookie, Jordan Love.
well,
It's like his
he,
third year.
but yeah, but as far as a full season starter, this is going to be his first season as an every game starter.
That's what Aaron
Last
Rodgers
season,
did.
yeah,
That's what Aaron
exactly.
Rodgers
Yeah.
did. That's what Brett
Yeah,
Favre did.
he
Let's
sat
go.
behind. Yeah, he sat behind Brett Favre for season after season, and then came out. But we've seen some Jordan Love previews. We have seen him play. He has come in and played. He
Mm-hmm.
has gotten the starting position before, and it has not been the best. But then again, dude, when you're coming off that bench, no, even Tom Brady did not come straight off that bench and turn into the Tom Brady that we all know and love today.
That's
You know
very
what I mean?
true.
It takes some time, some chemistry, some practice, and he has had that all off season. He has been practicing with these guys as the number one now. And I mean, dude,
It's his team.
when you got Dobbs, you got Christian Watson, you got Aaron Jones, you got, AJ Dillon. Now you got this Musgrave at the tight end position. You got weapons around you, dude. And
Mhm.
we all know that you got drafted number one pick, man. You were a number one pick, so you go out there and you do your thing. And I hope that Green Bay can definitely, you know,
I hope he
do
does
well this
good.
season.
Yeah. What up, Coach Dante? Thank y'all for watching us, man. You see us out here, season 2, Shady Sports Fantasy Football Reports with Seany and Ced, man. This season we coming with all the stats. I mean, whatever Seany can bring to you, we bring it all to you. I'm going to try to contribute a little bit and show y'all how I'm smashing through my leagues, but I'm just here to keep it flowing. But really don't know,
He's more than just a pretty face, everybody. I promise you. My boy
hey,
knows
I'm
what he's
winning
talking
this
about.
season. That's why I upped the ante. I'm winning all that. But no, like I love fantasy football, man. I've only been doing it, I think, since like 2015, 2014 or something like that. But like just like all the different leagues, all the different approaches you can take to it, and it's all the same objective, like, but it's being able to, just manage, what you think's going to happen pretty much. And it's super fun, like to chase after it with other people. And like, especially like you said, in our group, like you guys are on that waiver wire, man. Like, you know what I mean? As soon as it's open, you know what I mean? Like y'all snatching up the players. So like as soon as, so it's cool, like, see that, to have that information. So hopefully we can bring that to you guys. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you guys are enjoying watching this because we are back for season 2 to bring it to you. We're hoping
Right.
to do twice a week. But yeah, thank you guys for watching so far. I want to say though, which players would you not draft?
All right. So there's a couple guys up in those top rounds where I wouldn't draft at the ADP that they're at. And as much as it sucks to say, I think Travis Etienne is going too high. He's showed, that he can be but I just think he's going too high. Guys that I wouldn't draft, man, that's rough because there's a lot of people that I wouldn't draft
High. Well,
at
guys that you wouldn't draft in the
too
first
high. You know
three
what I mean?
rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Guys you
just
wouldn't draft in the first 3 rounds then, I guess.
guys I wouldn't draft in the first 3 rounds. Well, I think everybody's taking quarterbacks too early, but we already had that conversation. Um,
Sam, you heard him.
yeah, yeah. Hit that like button, Sam says. um,
Nah. Well, I mean,
so
okay, so like aside from that, so say you're in the 7th pick, right? You're in the 7th pick, come down to it. All those guys, those top 5 guys are gone. Top, 10 guys are gone. Somehow it's the 7th pick, but 10 guys are gone already. You know what I mean? But I'm saying though, like you're right there, that spot. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna take a quarterback. That's way too early. But like there aren't necessarily like what are you going for at that point? Are you still going for a wide receiver or running back?
I am, yeah. And that's the thing. Unless people are taking QB, so right around that point, man, is where I look to get my Chris Olaves. I look to get my Garrett
Ooh,
Wilsons. I
that's a
look to
good
get
one.
my Bijan Robinsons. Once you get to that point, man, if Keenan Allen's still available, he's somebody that I don't dog on. He's somebody that you could still come away with 15 points a week with.
I mean, for
Um,
the first round, though, I don't know.
no, not first round. No, not first round. I'm talking about when you get to that point where it's like who you would draft and who you wouldn't draft is when you start to get to that point. When you start
Yeah,
to see your Brandon Cooks and your Keenan Allens and that's when you start to be like, oh man, it's starting to get thin. That's when you get to the end of second, beginning and third, and you really got to put your cap on and know where you want to be.
yeah. I think
But
I'm
those
just
first
power
two
loading,
rounds are
though.
pretty solid with guys that you want, man. Like you don't dog on Jahmyr Gibbs, don't dog on Bijan, don't um, you know
Cortland
dude. I
Sutton.
just look. I see Najee Harris going too high. I see, uh, you know, I like where Aaron Jones is at. I think he's getting drafted in a proper spot.
I don't know,
There's
man.
just
That's gonna be a hella timeshare. AJ Dillon was a beast last year as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I know, but I just think that for where they're at right now, I think that AJ Dillon at his ADP is going right where he needs to be. He's not going too high. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Yeah, he's going in those later rounds, so he's worth it. You know, you're not wasting a pick on him by any means.
I hear you there.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
there's a lot that goes into, and that's probably something that we need to get into for next show. Is what value are you getting the right guy for at the right spot in the draft is something
yeah,
we'll come at you guys with for the next show, because I think there are a lot of people who are going too early for their ADP, and I think there's a lot of people who are going a little bit later than they should be going. So we'll
of
come at you
course.
guys with that and some injuries after this next round of preseason games, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I think we'll have our draft going too. So
Yeah, we'll let you know where
we'll
we ended up.
getting about there. So
Number
we'll
one.
get, I'm number one in the draft. So
Yeah, you
already
are.
there,
I've had
already
plenty of
there.
I've had plenty of mocks at 4, baby. I'm ready.
I've had none, but we'll go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Hey, thank you guys for watching us again. Shady Sports Fantasy Football Reports. You can find us all over. Last night we had a little bit of difficulty, I think, on the Facebook page, but we'll get them up, get them right next time. We'll get it going. Again, thank you guys for watching us. Rewatch it, reach out to us. We'll get you to that title for sure.
Hit that like button. Shady Sports Network, Fantasy Fiend, Sean Mon, Cedric. Holla at your boy.
Let's go.